We are starting with the most difficult one of the product pages, and that is the product page with variations. So as I mentioned before, here we have a light version and a dark version. Make sure the description is alright, the face serum, the title, etc., etc. And one moment, I'm opening the page menu. Here you see a lot of different options. And that is because there are a lot of different options, because you want to guide people throughout your product so they know everything and you don't have the questions. So what we are having first is the picture. And if you click a picture here, it will display in a bigger size. And that you will see here. So here you have the photo 1 and you change the picture how you want it. So open also the image here. It's just the image or the product held by hand, and you change this to your own product. But also make sure that the product under it is also changed. Also make sure you're not adding a new picture, you just swap it, because there is a gradient or a opacity in it, and if it's not selected, it's like, the contrast isn't that harsh. So make sure you only change it where you see photo 1 and you only change this image files. Just go through it and just change the same one for your same picture. Here you see that the contrast here is a little bit harder, so you see that it's selected and it shows up bigger. Alright, then you have a light version and a dark version. What you want to do is, if you have a light version, that is here selected and you see the light version of the product. If you have a dark version, make sure this is selected, or make sure that what you're going to do is you're going to duplicate this page. I would always advise you to duplicate the page, also for a light version. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to duplicate this page, and we call this face serum light. And we're going to put every single aspect in it what we want to showcase. What you also see here is a drop down of the benefits, the color, the key ingredients, and then you see a link to the how to get started. First we run out through the whole page, and then I will come back how you add your variation in it. So alright, the benefits. Here you will see the variation benefits. So neutral is nothing. Nothing is selected, and what you see here is also that there is really no text. It's just a clean layout, and you can just click on it so it will unfold. If I'm going here to the variation benefits, you will see that this pops up. You can just fill it in however you want and showcase your benefits. It doesn't have to be this one with the icons and the USPs. It could be totally different, but make sure you put your benefits in here and it doesn't stay empty. Then we go further. What is really important for this particular brand is that people know to buy which color variation. So we have explained it here. Could be also its size or anything else you want to showcase here. Make also sure that then you change this title. After that, we are going to the ingredients. It's you use it as the exact same way as you have the upper ones. You see only a little bit variation and playing around with the kind of fonts, and that some are italic and some are like a little bit thick or a fat kind of font. So that's how you do the three first drop downs. And then here, if you click here on the front end, you see that you will scroll to how to get that, and that is this block. Here we explain how you use the product. Alright, so that is the drop down and the how to canvas. If you don't want to use this, just hide it. So then just click on the text and just hide it on both ways. You can also delete it, but then it's harder to, if you ever want to use it again, to insert it yourself, because all the settings are the exact same. But whenever you don't want it, just make sure you remove it here. This is the product. Don't forget to add here your Shopify button. I see that I inserted already here, so I will remove it because this is the template. Otherwise, you will have our sample product in it. Alrighty. What you also have here is save on bundles, which will redirect you to the bundle products. So make also sure by click action it's, for example, here on sets. So if you will exactly use this template, then it will redirect to that. If you're not using this, I would make it disappear or remove it. As mentioned here, you have the travel sizes and extra tools. Make sure that if you want to use this as a bestseller or call it something else, you changed it just by typing in this block. What you will find here is the how-to. So we made it in 4 steps. This is the title and this is the explanation. Here you will see the step 1, and then you can change it, and the description here. If you want to go to step 2, just select step 2 and do the exact same thing. Then here you have 3, and what you see here is only the title because the text was otherwise a little bit too less. If you still want to have the description with it, just copy it from step 1 to the other ones, but make sure it's really in the right step. So that's it for these steps. Scrolling throughout the page here, you will see the benefits of the product displays on the product picture, and it's actually the exact same thing. So we're using a lot of variations here. Always make sure to open the page menu and to go through every single step. So for example, if you have a necklace and it's 18 karat gold, just put it in here, for example, or it's handmade and that's benefit too, just put it here. You can also change it by renaming it and then name it, for example, 18K gold, so you always know which step it was and you don't have to search for it. And with any product page, we build this gallery kind of canvas, or as we call it here on the left side, the before and after. And here are the real results. I think it's a really nice tool to show your image or to show befores and afters. It really depends on your product. So what you're doing here is if someone clicks on the picture, then it will show up in a big field here. These ones are a little bit more transparent, so you see they are not selected, and this one is. You will see that also on the left side in the page menu, where image 1 is on and the other ones are just the normal images. If I go to the image 2, so here image 2 is on, and here image 3 is on. So here is only the image on, it's the last one. It's also directly selected when you select it on this side. So swapping the pictures here to the right picture. So make sure that the big picture is corresponding with the one who's not transparent. So change this one, and then you can change this one to the ones corresponding here on the upper side. So that is all the same as the previous one. We already built in that some are more transparent and other not, which are selected and which are not selected. So that is how this works. I would also really suggest that you swap the image and you're not going to play around with new pictures, because then you will break the settings and it will not correspond anymore when you click it. Let's see it also from the front view, how this works. So scrolling to that image, you will see it here corresponding with the right image if I click it. And that's it. Alright, going through, here you see a graphic of the packaging and a description with it. If your description is different, which of course could be, then make sure that you make it a kind of the same way. So we do it really abstract, and that's because you can drag and drop. Mostly it's kind of square box where you send it in, and this can of course be like totally round. So drag and drop this how you want it. If you want to have like not the have a more square or excuse me, slightly more pointy corner, go to effects, and here you see that the upper corner is like more oval and with 20 pixels. So if we want it pointy, then we put in 0, and we put in here 0 as well, and tada, it's a more square kind of shape. So know that you can change this here, just play around with it, but then you know where to find it. So again, it's on the right side in effects. So I'm going to put it back because it's a bit rounded with us. Ta-da! And now it's how it should be. Also, this is just an oval, drag and drop where you want it if you need to change the shape of your packaging. And just click this one to put the USBs in it. And here we will have the side canvas again. So what we're going to do now is, this was the variation. Always make sure you have a duplicate from the original one. So you always could fall back on the original one. We're going to duplicate this as well. So imagine you filled in all the stuff, you filled in all the pictures, etc. But only you will have a, well, for example, now we have a dark one. So we're going here to rename it to a dark serum, and of course then we're going to rename it as dark, and then important is that we change this. What we're now going to do is here on click action page, this is going to be the light serum, excuse me, and this is the dark serum, but we are currently in the dark serum. It's also selected here, so you just change that as well. Then we're going to the light serum, and we want to go to the dark serum, just selecting with the click actions the link and then the page, and then we are linking to the dark page. So this is how you're doing it. You just make the variation with different pages, but make sure that if your pages are almost the same, you only need to change some little details. So the benefits here are the same, the key ingredients, the color, how to use it are the same. You set up first one page and then duplicate it and link it to the right page. So that's all you're doing. You're just duplicating the page and redirecting it to the right one.